Hi, I'm Andy. This is Project Car Haven, and we are back on the ZZR. The floodwaters mentioned in the previous episode have receded somewhat, and some deliveries are getting through, so I've managed to get hold of a starter motor and a starter solenoid for this. No word on the tyres yet, but we'll just work with what we have for the time being. So the starter engages in here, so I'm going to pass the starter motor in through this way, put a little bit of upward pressure on the carburetors to make enough space, and then slide it in and bolt it in place. So get that terminal bolted on first. Bit of wrestling from the other side. 2 bolts on the back side holding the starter in. That went in okay. I'm now on the other side of the bike because the starter solenoid's behind this piece of fairing here. So I've got to take that back off to then get to that and replace it. So this is the starter solenoid here. Got a replacement, it's just a matter of switching them out. Cable off there. Just pulls off. A couple of 10 mils here. Contact cleaner, brass wire brush, clean the connector. So there's pretty much just one thing left to go, which is get these tyres off, get them swapped out for new fresh ones, because these ones are very cracked and old and no good. That's 24 mil, okay.
Later.
Quick little adventure out to the local motorcycle shop. New tyres are now fitted. It's a matter of throwing the wheels back on. Then I get to refit the chain, tension that, and then might be ready for a test ride. All right, got the rear wheel back on, axle in. I've got the chain wrapped up in here. It's all nice and clean and lubricated. Ready to get that fitted now. So all the pieces of the joining link. Look after those. Got to loosen up these adjusters, move the wheel forward, link the chain together, and then put tension on it. O-rings on the back side, O-rings on the front side. Well, it was a little bit of a hold up because I had to go and buy another chain link because the clip split. That's, you know, not going to help at all. So I've replaced it. It's gold and not silver, but it does stand out as the splittable link in the chain. Not that I should need to worry about it again. All I need to do now is move the rear wheel back using these adjusters, line up with the markings to make sure they're even so the rear wheel's not crooked, recheck the chain tension, and then see if it'll fire up and run and ride. There's a little notch on the top plate and markings here. It's almost sitting on the second one. Check the other side. That one probably needs to come back just a little bit more. Like so. About 1 inch of deflection, that's probably pretty good. Tighten up these nuts on the rear here to lock these in, and that's done. Now the wheel's adjusted back, we can tighten up the axle. Castellated nuts done up enough so we can see the hole there. Put the R-clip through. So here's the rear indicators, but these look like indicators too. Sure enough, you take them off, flip them over, they're amber inside, and there's light in the housing. So I'm going to switch these out for actual indicators and get rid of these. Well, in order to wire these in properly, I think I'm going to take all the fairings off, give myself the most amount of room possible. Alright, unhook these wires. It's a matter of unplugging them. Hope. Let's undo these. So now I'm just going to steal the wires off these so I have the connectors, wire them to those indicators and throw it back on. So I'll take these away, solder them up, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we get this stuff fitted back on. See if we got left and right the correct way around. Replacement lenses. Well, that looks much cleaner. Now to test. Excellent. Well, I think that's about it. All that's left to do is try and get a roadworthy certificate, and if it passes, we'll get some registration and take it for a ride.
3 days later.
Well, if it was ready for just an inspection to then be registered, why is the bike in pieces again? Well, good news, it did pass and the bike is registered. The bad news is this bike hasn't been run for quite some time, not at speed. So when I took it out for a quick test ride and it got up to temp, the temp kept rising because the coolant hose all the way in here developed a hole. And in order to get to it, everything had to come off. Had to pull the fairings off and obviously the tank, so I could get to that. So I thought while I had it all apart, I'll take the thermostat out too and test that. Set it in a bowl of boiling water and it barely moved. So maybe some excess pressure caused the old hose to split, create a hole, and then vent all the coolant out onto the road. So I've had to order another one of those. And I noticed the fan wasn't running. Now it was probably because no water flow was getting back through the radiator and heating that up. But then I took that switch out and the only way I could get it to activate was using a blowtorch. It also didn't want to activate with boiling water, so I think it's faulty. Also, a hose kit was pretty hard to find for this bike for whatever reason, so I just grabbed a hose that suits a car with a few bends in it and then cut up some pieces that I needed to replace just about all of them from that. The elbow here, one there, straight piece in here, was also showing signs of bulging and about to split, so hopefully once those other parts arrive and I get them fitted, this should be all good to go. Well, it is a little bit later now and the fan switch has arrived and I've fitted that. The thermostat also arrived, a factory OEM one, and that's been fitted to the housing. I did get the old thermostat and the new one and I stuck them in a bowl and poured boiling water on them just to see how they would react. And there was a difference. The one that was originally in the bike barely opened at all. The one that is brand new opened quite a lot, so it wouldn't have stopped the water flow with this old thermostat, but it's definitely not going to flow enough. So hopefully this will fix any overheating issues that the bike just had. It's a matter of getting all of that plumbed back in, fitted up, and then fill it with coolant, bleed that out, put the bike all back together, and then take it for a ride and see if it behaves itself. Try and thread. Hose clamp on, hopefully. Yep, fuel tank. Just placing the fuel lines back on and tightening them up. See if the battery's dead. Okay, well, it's back together and starts up. Before I go and fit all the fairings and the seat back on, I think I'm going to add some coolant and get it up to temp, make sure that all works like it should. If I'm happy, then we'll proceed forward, put it back together again, hopefully for the final time, and then be able to actually take this out for a test ride. Oh, hopefully I don't make a mess of this everywhere. Yeah, nah. Perfect. Well, all the repairs are hopefully finished, so now it's just a matter of taking it out for a ride and make sure that temp gauge behaves itself.
Well, right from the get-go it is quite smooth actually. Just ride it for a bit and try and get it up to temp before I open it up fully. Very different to the V-Star and the Royal Enfield, that's for sure. All green light. Alright, merging onto the highway. Okay. Sits on about 6,000 RPM at 80 k's an hour. That highway run did push the temperature up a bit, but now that we're moving slower it's dropped down, so I think the overheating issue is definitely sorted. This bike rides quite smoothly, smoother than I expected, and I haven't ridden anything that handles like this before. It's very responsive.
Well, I'll call that test ride successful. Temperature didn't rise, so it didn't overheat. Tyres held air, engine kept running, bike turned when I asked it to turn. So I guess all the work that's been put into it has paid off and this bike is finished. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a comparison video between the three bikes that I have from a beginner's perspective. I don't know anything about reviewing bikes or what you might want to hear about them. I guess I'll just offer some opinions and point out differences, something like that. Anyway, all that's left to say is thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.